Another focus of interest is the semantic aspect of compound words, that is, the question of correlations of the separate meanings of the constituent parts and the actual meaning of the compound. Or, to put it in easier terms, can the meaning of a compound word be regarded as the sum of its constituent meanings? To try and answer this question, let us consider the following groups of examples. Group number 1, classroom, bedroom, working man, evening gown, dining room, sleeping car, reading room, dancing hall. This group seems to represent compounds whose meanings can really be described as the sum of their constituent meanings. Yet in the last 4 words, we can distinctly detect a slight shift of meaning. The first component in these words, if taken as a free form, denotes an action or state of whatever or whoever is characterized by the word. Yet a sleeping car is not a car that sleeps, as in sleeping child, nor is a dancing hall actually dancing, as in dancing pairs. The shift of meaning becomes much more obvious in the second group of examples. Blackboard, blackbird, football, lady killer, pickpocket, good for nothing, lazy bones, chatterbox. In these compounds, one of the components, or maybe both, has changed its meaning. A blackboard is neither a board nor necessarily black. We know that blackboards are sometimes of white color. Football is not a ball, but a game. A chatterbox, not a box, but a person. And a lady killer kills no one, but is merely a man who fascinates women. It is clear that in all these compounds, the meaning of the whole word cannot be defined as the sum of the constituent meanings. The process of change of meaning in some such words has gone so far that the meaning of one or both constituents is no longer in the least associated with current meaning of the corresponding free form, and yet the speech community quite calmly accepts such seemingly illogical word groups as a white blackbird, pink bluebells, or an entirely confusing statement like blackberries are red when they are green. Yet, despite a certain readjustment in the semantic structure of the word, the meanings of the constituents of the compounds of this second group are still transparent. You can see through them the meaning of the whole complex. Knowing the meanings of the constituents, a student of English can get a fairly clear idea what the whole word means, even if he comes across it for the first time. At least it is clear that a blackbird is some kind of bird, and that a good for nothing is not meant as a compliment. In the third group of compounds, the process of deducing the meaning of the whole from those of the constituents is impossible. The key to meaning seems to have been irretrievably lost. Ladybird is not a bird, but an insect. Tall boy, not a boy, but a piece of furniture. Blue stocking, on the contrary, is a person, whereas blue bottle may denote both a flower and an insect, but never a bottle. Similar enigmas are encoded in such words as merry-go-round, which means carousel. Horse marine, it's a person who is unsuitable for his job or position. Butterfingers, which means a clumsy person. Wallflower, it's a girl who is not invited to dance at a party. Whodunit, detective story. Strap hanger, a passenger who stands in a crowded bus or underground and holds onto a strap. The compounds whose meanings do not correspond to the separate meanings of their constituent parts, as in second and third groups, are called idiomatic compounds, in contrast to the first group known as non-idiomatic compounds. The suggested subdivision into 3 groups is based on the degree of semantic cohesion of the constituent parts, The third group representing the extreme case of cohesion, where the constituent meanings blend to produce an entirely new meaning. The following joke perfectly shows what happens if an idiomatic compound is misunderstood as non-idiomatic. Patient: they tell me, doctor, you're a perfect lady killer. Doctor: oh, no, I assure you, my dear ma'am, I make no distinction between the sexes. In this joke, while the patient means to compliment the doctor on his being a handsome and irresistible man, he takes or pretends to take the word lady killer literally as a sum of the direct meanings of its constituents. Composition is not quite so flexible a way of coining new words as conversion, but flexible enough, as is convincingly shown by the examples of nonce words given above. Among compounds are found numerous expressive and colorful words. They are also comparatively laconic, absorbing into one word an idea that otherwise would have required a whole phrase. For example, the hotel was full of weekenders, and the hotel was full of people spending the weekend there. So both the laconic and the expressive value of compounds can be well illustrated by English compound adjectives denoting colors. Snow white, for example, yes, as white as snow. In the following extract, a family are discussing which color to paint their car. Could you paint it canary yellow, Fred? Turtle green, shouted Mother. Mouse gray, Randy suggested. Dove white, maybe. Rattlesnake brown. No, peacock blue. So the meanings of all these multicolored adjectives is based on comparison. The second constituent is the name of a color used in its actual sense, and the first is the name of an object, animal, flower, with which the comparison is drawn. The pattern is productive, and a great number of nonce words are created after it. You can coin an adjective comparing the color of a defined object with almost anything on earth. The pattern allows for vast creative experiments. If canary yellow, peacock blue, dove white are registered by dictionaries, turtle green and rattlesnake brown are certainly typical nonce words, amusing inventions of the author aimed at a humorous effect. Sometimes it is pointed out as a disadvantage that the English language has only one word, blue, for Georgian, Luigi, and Cisperi. But this seeming inadequacy is compensated by a large number of adjectives coined on the pattern of comparison, such as navy blue, cornflower blue, peacock blue, china blue, sky blue, turquoise blue, forget-me-not blue, powder blue. This list can be supplemented by compound adjectives which also denote different shades of blue, but are not built on comparison: dark blue, light blue, pale blue, etc.